Greetings from Key Grade 24 Studios, and welcome to this ThomasWoodenRailway discussion on Elizabeth. Now, Elizabeth may be a character you may or may not be familiar with, so let me just give you guys some background on what she is. She first appeared in the TV series. She was never seen in the Railway series. She first appeared in the TV series in the episode Elizabeth the Vintage Lorry, or for us Americans, the title was reworked because the word lorry doesn't really exist. It was reworked so that the title would be Elizabeth the Vintage Quarry Truck, I believe. Same plot, everything, just the title's different. They did that with a lot of the TV series episodes, in fact. But never mind on that. So Elizabeth was originally Sir Topham Hatt's driving truck. Then Elizabeth was one of the first trucks, or first vehicles, in fact, that Sir Topham Hatt had learned to drive. And so Elizabeth was put away in a shed for several years, and nobody ever came looking for her. And it was finally Thomas breaks down while pulling an important train, and his driver and fireman go into the shed, and lo and behold, there's Elizabeth. She had been locked away for several years, but she had been found again. And it's just really funny when Sir Topham Hatt arrives, and I believe the first words that Elizabeth says to him, she says, "Oh, look, it's you. Have you learned to drive yet?" And I just find that really funny because Elizabeth didn't get in trouble for that at all. In fact, Sir Topham Hatt just kind of laughs it off and just keeps on going because Sir Topham Hatt and Elizabeth have a very interesting relationship. I mean, he certainly doesn't have that relationship with any of the engines. And there's certainly, some behind-the-scenes inside jokes between the two, and that's for sure. So I believe it was Jem Cole that fixed Elizabeth up and made her all nice and pretty. And just like any other engine or any other road vehicle on the island of Sodor, she's a really useful, in this sense, lorry or truck. So let's take a look at Elizabeth's model and just examine it for a little bit because I actually like this model a lot. It has a lot of detail that you don't really see in the models that much today. So as you can tell, Elizabeth is angry. I think she's actually annoyed. I don't think she would be angry, but Elizabeth is just the character that just always seems mad no matter what. I love the detail. I love the gold. She has a nice maroon color here. As you can tell right there, this part opens up and down. You press the top, you press the cab right here, and it just pops open. So I don't think it pops up fast enough that you could actually, send your cargo flying. But at the same time, you know what? You could have some pretty wacky adventures with that. This side's, just the same. Her area back here, I like how it's orange because it makes her really stand out. The black trim's really nice. That's something you would never see colored in today. So I like that. And just back to the front here, you can't actually see where the steering wheel is. You assume that it would be on the right side, but you actually don't see it, which is kind of interesting. And one thing I wish they would add is just the little person sitting inside there that you used to see in models such as Birdie and the Crosby Station truck. On the bottom here, it says Elizabeth. You can kind of tell off to the side of the E there is a code in case there's a recall. And don't really know what the magnet is there, but much like some wooden railway items, there's just magnets in weird places that you never really understand why. So I'll put Elizabeth back down. Now, I don't want to detract from the review at all. But there's something, when I bought Elizabeth, I bought her for my documentary Heroes Origins, so that I could kind of elaborate on the whole Sir Topham Hatt Elizabeth relationship. But when I bought her off of eBay, it came in a very strange package. So this is what I got. It looks normal, and it is normal, until you turn it to the back. And you see all this extra stuff that you never really see. And I don't know if it'll focus, but look at all those different languages. Isn't that weird? You never see that in the United States because everything just comes in English, but it's all these different languages, and it's not like Spanish or anything like that. I mean, these are European language. I won't even try to figure out which ones they are because I know I'll mess it up. But the front here looks perfectly normal, and then on the back here is when things get weird. Take a look at that. 2008 Learning Curve brands. The last time we saw Elizabeth, she was kind of one of the products of the Hit takeover. She appeared in a few episodes when Hit took over, but she didn't appear in much. And I believe the last time we saw her was 2008 and in The Great Discovery, and look at that, 2008. So I was kind of thinking about this, and I was wondering if possibly they had some extra Elizabeth models left over from when she was sold, originally back in 2002 when she first appeared in season 6, and they decided with the release of The Great Discovery, which she appeared in as a cameo, that they would re-release this stuff. Because, I mean, 2008 and 2002 are 6 years. They would not still be selling Elizabeth, I wouldn't think, because Elizabeth is pretty rare, not the rarest of all. But then came with a character card, and character card just looks a little bit funny to me. I don't know why, but then you flip it over, I mean, and look at this. These are all languages, and I believe it's the same languages that you saw in the package. How weird is that? I mean, maybe I'm the only one that finds that weird, but you don't see this stuff in the United States, and that's why I was so bewildered by it when I got it. But the weirdness is not over. Of course, here comes a pamphlet. The pamphlet is very different than what we get in the United States. More languages at the top there. I believe it's the same languages. This is nice, however. Look where Thomas is. Look, Thomas Henry Gordon, James Percy Toby Duck, or there's no Duck, sorry, but Donald and Douglas. Look, the engines are in order. We never get that in the United States. The engines are always, here and there and everywhere. You go to the next row, there's Toad. Oh, look, it's Oliver. Okay, so we essentially have engines 1 through 11 here, minus 8 because Duck hasn't been seen in a while. That's nice. We never get that. Our things are, or our pamphlets are always messed up. Look at the different names too. Henry and Henry, Edward, and I assume that says Edward, but I could be wrong. So I won't spend a whole lot of time on this, but I just want to show you guys this pamphlet, what it has. I think this is kind of weird. I believe these were retired very, very way back from 2008, yet they appear in the pamphlet. Let me flip it over and show you guys just more destinations, sets and stuff that we usually see. But then look at this. Here are the languages, and there's Elizabeth. But look at this. Look at this Jack. It's very, very weird. This model of Jack is so strange. I've never seen anything like that. I hope that is an early prototype of Jack. But that's all the time I'll spend on this pamphlet. But then guess what? There's another pamphlet. Yes, we have this. This came with it as well. I mean, I've never seen this before. Now, this is a learning curve thing, and it has all the learning curve items that it sold at the time during 2008. Obviously, Learning Curve kind of sold everything they did, and they gave it to Tomy and then Mattel. There's the Thomas section, and there was a Thomas section on the other side too if you missed it. But it's so weird. I have never seen this before. So my theory is that I bought this from a seller in the United States, and I assume that it came from, or that seller, I don't know where the seller got it, obviously. They could have traveled to Europe and gotten this and then decided to sell it when they came back. But for people who live in Europe, is that what you're accustomed to seeing? I've never seen anything like that in my entire life. It's very strange, very foreign, obviously, with all the languages. And if you have any information, please let me know. But back to the discussion here. I don't want to take away from, the fact that discussion is about Elizabeth. So let me pick up Elizabeth here and then compare her to Isabella. Remember, Elizabeth and Isabella, similar names. These two models are so much alike. I mean, it's kind of scary, just look at them. Look at their designs and everything. I mean, it's kind of scary. It really is. I don't know exactly when Elizabeth appeared in the TV series and Isabella, but I would not be surprised if they swapped, if there was just one model for Elizabeth and Isabella, because they are very, very similar. Obviously, the faces are different here. But I mean, just look at the windows. Even though they're different colors. Wow, look at that. I mean, that's crazy. So if you guys have any theories on this as well, please let me know. But I just thought I'd show you guys the pamphlet, of course, compared to Isabella, because the two are very much alike. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this review. I hope I didn't take away too much by showing you guys that pamphlet, but it was just something very, very weird that I had to show you that I'll probably never run into again. So anyway, thanks for holding with me, and I hope you guys certainly enjoyed this review. Of course, there are many more to come. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and see you next time.